Lindsay here, the Frugal Crafter, and I have a question for you. Would you be my Valentine? Or would you like to know how to make some cute classroom Valentines? Your kids can even make them. It's so easy and cheap too when you're using supplies from our sponsor, Papermart. You can find them online at www.papermart.com. We're going to use some of this twisted paper cord. It's about $2.50, I think, for 25 yards. We're going to use some white paper doilies. We've got a box of 1,000 here. You don't have to buy that many, but certainly come in handy for lots and lots of crafts. We're going to use some unstrung merchandise tags and some stamps and some spray inks and lots of fun crafty stuff. I probably shouldn't have wore a white sweater. Let's go to the table and I'll show you how it's done. Here's a closer look at the pretty carnation. It looks quite lifelike, doesn't it? This sentiment on the tag says, "If friends were flowers, I'd pick you." And I simply wrote it with a marker. I'm going to show you how to do that too. I decorated it with a couple carnation stamps and wrote "to and from" on the back. So to make the flower, it's really easy. You need 3 white paper doilies, 6-inch size. Just make sure you only have one when you kind of got to pull them apart. They do stick together pretty well, but they are easy to get apart. I'm using my homemade shimmer spray to color these, and I've got this kind of pink and pearl color here, and then you want to flip them and do the back. And if you're making more than one, you want to do all your doilies at once. You know, while you have the mess out, just spray them all. And then to make the flower, you want to make sure you don't get it on your sleeves too. You want to grab a doily from the center and kind of just let it fold in on itself. Oops, I ripped that one, but I don't think that's going to show. And you want to do it to each one of these, kind of layering it and kind of scrunching the petals as you go. And get this last one here, because the doilies are going to be kind of fragile when they're wet, so you just want to make sure that you don't tear them. If you get a little tear, it's not a big deal, but just be mindful that they're going to be a lot more delicate when they're wet. So to tip the edges in a color, I'm going to use some red and just spray it right onto my mat. And then I'm just going to dab the ends, because a lot of times carnations are colored by putting colored water in a vase and it sucks up the color. And my kids get such a kick out of ordering carnations at school for their friends. So this way they could make one for everyone in their class. Then you're going to set this aside to dry. So I definitely recommend doing these all at once. You can speed up the process with a heat gun if you're just making one. But probably by the time you're dyeing, 30 of them, the first ones will be dry. All right, so then to do the stem, you're going to take a piece of twisted paper cord and you're going to untwist one end about, I would say, probably like 1 inch, so that you make like a little cup on the end that will hold your carnation. It always goes slower when I'm doing it on camera. I'm always like so swift at it when I'm not on camera. The minute the camera rolls and I can't untwist paper. There we go. So you have a little cup. See, like that? And get a little cup there. And then you want to take your green spray ink and blast. I'm actually going to put this towel down just so I don't have to wipe my thing up again. Or you could just buy the green twisted paper cord. I didn't have any green, so I'm just coloring this yellow cord. Or you could use the white and color it. Either way is fine, whichever way you want to do. So I'm setting aside that wet one, but I do have a dry flower and a dry stem that I've already prepared. So then you want to open up the little cup in the stem here, the little cup that you've made, and fill it with some low temperature hot glue, or you can use thick and tacky glue, whichever you have. You want something that's going to be pretty thick, that's going to grab both the flower and the stem, even if they're not completely married up perfectly. And now for the tag. This is fun. I love to do tags. On the glossy side with a permanent marker, you want to write, "If friends were flowers, I'd pick you." And look at that, my penmanship is probably about the same as your 3rd graders. So this is how it's gonna look. Poke out the little hole there. And then I want to make a little embellishment. So what I have here is a scrap of cardstock. I have this cute little carnation stamp by, I'm not even sure who it's by. I think it's by the paper company. But you could use whatever you want. I know there's a lot of those inchy stamps out right now that are really popular and they work really well for this. I'm just going to stamp it on my scrap here. with some red ink. And I bought this punch from Stampin' Up! About a year ago because I thought I have all these 1-inch square stamps. I thought they'd make really cute fake postage. So that's what I'm using for that. This is a Stampin' Up! Punch, but again, you could use decorative edge scissors and cut out your little fake stamp too. I'm going to use a little, my sponge dauber from our spray mist video, remember that? I'm going to use that to ink the edges. And since I keep a different dauber for each color ink pad, or each color family, I don't have to clean them. I just grab the dauber that's the right color, and I'm ready to go. I'm off to the races, as they say. I'm going to attach that to the front. Oh, before I attach that to the front, I'm going to do any writing and stamping on the back. So I'm going to write, oh, my tag got a little dirty, but that's all right, to and from. That happens around here when I got all my media doing its thing on the desk. And I also found this really cute little carnation kind of negative image print that I liked, so I thought that I have to use that too because I like it. When if we're making 30 of these though, the stamping's going to be the first thing to go probably. And as I mentioned before, I keep my baker's twine in a makeup bag that I've punched some holes in, and I'm just going to snip off about, oh, I'd say 8 inches or so, whatever's comfortable for you to tie a bow. And let's glue on our little faux postage. I apologize for any any banging you might hear in the background because we have a metal roof and the snow's been falling off of it today, and it's making some pretty loud noises sometimes. I'm not sure if that picked up on the camera or not. Alright, so then I'm just going to tie my tag onto my carnation and make it in a little bow. If you're worried about the tag slipping off, one trick is to just put a little dab of glue on the string, and that will both keep your bow tied, and it will also keep your tag from slipping off. So there you have it, a quick and fun, see this one wants to slide off. I'll show you what I mean. I'll put just a little bit of glue here on the back, and I'll just kind of roll the tag into it. It's on the back, you really don't see it, but it will secure that. So there you have it. I want to thank our sponsor Paper Mart for these fabulous supplies. If you want to find out where you can buy these supplies, go online to www.papermart.com, where we make you look even better. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, happy crafting.